welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. This week's video will be on something that you guys actually voted on. If you saw my Instagram or Facebook post on a scarf that I actually finished about a week ago, I made this. It took me about a month to finish it just because I wasn't working on it every day, and it was an off and on kind of whenever I needed something to keep my hands busy while I'm like watching TV or just bored. I could pick up my knitting needles and work on that. I try to keep a project like that to keep my downtime a little more productive, but I finished this and put a vote out on Facebook and Instagram to see what you guys think I should do next. The three options were a matching hat, a different colored scarf, or other. One of you put another. The other that was voted on was a hood. I don't quite have a pattern for a hood, and it kind of lost anyway, so maybe we'll do that in the future. But this week, actually, the winner was a matching hat. So I have my matching skein, and it's going to be more of a crochet hat. This is a hat crochet hoop, so I'm going to be crocheting the hat. I don't know how to knit and combine it into a circle quite yet, so we're just going to do what I know, and this is easy. It's something that I can carry with me. I'm going to be making the matching hat while I'm on this trip with my husband. We're going to Capitol Reef National Park. It's going to be my third national park ever, and so I'm really excited about it. We're going to be there for 4 days, and I want something to be able to do while we're driving. And if Garrett decides to take a nap and I need something to entertain myself, I'm going to do this. I feel like it's a little bit better than, I don't want to say it's better than reading a book, but I feel like I can accomplish more than just reading a book when I'm doing this. So that's what I'm going to do. I need to finish cleaning the house and finish getting packed so we can leave in 4 hours and go on our anniversary trip. So I'm really excited. This one is definitely going to be more vlog style just because it's going to be me recording while I am out and about and enjoying my anniversary and doing a craft. So I hope you enjoy it because that's what I'm doing. So I gotta go. So I'll see you on the road.
All right, here we go. We're off. Woo!
Let's get it.
So the first thing I need to do is I need to find the two ends of the skein so I can start. I realize I might have goofed up the way I pulled the skein apart in the beginning trying to find the ends, because I spend a good chunk of the rest of this trip trying to untangle the mess I made. If you have any tips on avoiding this, please let me know in the comments because I clearly need the help. Now I've gotten to the point where I have enough rows where I can make the brim of the hat.
right, since we're here in the off season, we need to go find some food because everything online says it might be closed or might be open. So we're gonna go look around Tori to see what kind of food we can find. We're hoping that it'll be something good because
it's bulking season.
he just ate the rest of his fries from lunch and now he's hungry. So we gotta go find something because we need food for the night, and this motel doesn't do any like room service or anything like that. So yeah, we gotta go. So we're gonna go do that and hope and pray that there's something for us to eat. Post-production Ashley here. I realized that I didn't get any footage for day 2, at least no crafty footage. This video is already long enough. I don't feel like I am going to put any of the hiking footage in here, so I don't have any footage for day 2 that pertains to this project. If you want to see the hiking footage and you want me to make a full video on that, because I have enough hiking footage for that. I'm a bit of a camera junkie when I'm on hikes, but if you want to see a full video on that, leave a comment and let me know. But I just want to let you know that that day I didn't do any real crafting stuff. I did get a little bit of the yarn untangled, but I didn't get any of it recorded. So we went on 2.5 hikes that day and we were so exhausted that I didn't think about it. So just want to let you know that's what happened on to day 3. It's now the next day. We were so tired after yesterday. Like, I'm so sunburnt. It's crazy. But we were so tired after yesterday that we just kind of just crashed. And it was bad. It is now 10:40 and we are finally going outside to try to find some food. There was a burger joint that we saw on the way back from the hikes yesterday, and we're gonna go see if they're open. But yeah, maybe don't do 3 hikes in one day. Unless they're like half a mile or so. But we did how many miles yesterday?
8 miles.
Our prediction is about 8 miles. I got over 21,000 steps. If you want to calculate that out, I don't know. But it was brutal. So we're gonna be taking it easy today, just exploring the town of Tori and maybe going and finding some very short hikes while exploring. But right now we need to go get food, so I'm gonna go do that.
When we got back from getting food, I jumped right back into untangling while Garrett took a nap. I used the loom to help me keep the yarn organized until I could find the end. I finally found the end. Now it's time to get it off the loom and wind it into a ball. Yes, I used a water bottle to help me get it started. And now it's time to get back to the project at hand. So here I do a little bit of a try on to see how many more rows I need to do, and I guess I overestimate because shortly after this I realized I did way too many, which leads me to switch up the project.
Alright, so I decided that I'm gonna wait until I get home to finish this for a couple of reasons. The first one is I don't have all of the tools I need to finish it. I totally spaced bringing a yarn needle so that I can run the last bit of thread through the ends of each of these, which is something that I need to be able to finish this up. So I think I'm gonna wait until I get home because that, and I decided to make a chaperone style hat. It's a really long medieval style hat that kind of has a scarf built into it, but I figured since I want to use this whole ball of yarn and I'm about halfway through the ball of yarn with what I have, I want it to taper out so it's a long pointy droopy hat. I already have quite a bit. So I think I'm gonna use some smaller hoops to kind of have it taper down so that it can get to that point, because I don't think I can do that with this hoop. It's just too big. The pegs are just too far apart. I feel like the heart circumference of this hoop would leave gaps as I get smaller, and it would just start looking funny. So I'm gonna try something that I've never done before. So I'll get a smaller hoop and do 4 or 5 rows, and then do a smaller one after that and a smaller one after that, and just put 1 or 2 of these loops on the pegs so that it tapers in and I don't lose any of the loops. I'm gonna try that. I don't know how easy that's gonna be, but I think it'll be fun. I just don't have them with me. So I'm gonna have to do that when I get home. We are still on our trip. I got about this much done in the last little bit while Garrett was taking a nap, but now that he's awake, I'm gonna put this away and hang out with him a little bit and have this be a wait until I get home project. I was hoping to get this done on our trip, but I just don't have what I need, and kind of the idea of what I'm going to do has changed a little bit. So I'm going to spend the rest of the time hanging out with Garrett. I wasn't planning on recording this process going home because, as you saw at the beginning of this video, some of the footage coming down was really shaky, and I don't want to keep putting you guys through that. But either way, I'm going to put this away until I get home. I'll let you know when we're on our drive home. But I put an elastic on the bottom of the cap that I've been working on, just so that I can put the ball in there and store it like that, so I don't have to worry about it rolling around all over the place and slipping through the hoop and taking up more space than I want it to. But I just wanted to show you what I did so I can get it home. I just put an elastic around the rim, and that should hold it until I can get it home. Okay. Like I said in the last clip, I didn't get any more progress done on the project the rest of the trip. I just tried to enjoy myself as much as possible. I did get quite a bit more footage that day, but it's more vloggy stuff. So like I said in the last interruption, let me know if you want to see that in a full video, but I'm not going to put it into this one because it's already over 30 minutes long right now, and I don't want it to be too long. So we just got home and I got the hoops and I just jumped right into it. I completely spaced filming the transition over. I was just so worried about not getting it right and messing it up that I just didn't record it. So that's why this next clip will be just jumping straight into the project, and I already have it onto the next size down. So that's why. I'll explain a little bit more as we go, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know. Here we go. All right, so it switched from the yellow to the next size down, which is the pink. Sorry I didn't film it. I was a little excited and nervous that it wasn't going to work and that I was going to struggle. So I will show you on the next size down what I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a row over the top and just start working on the smaller size. Once I'm done with the pink one, I'll go on to the blue one. And then once I'm done with the blue one, I'll go on to the little yellow one. So I'm going to do probably 10 to 20 rows on the pink one. And then we'll go to the blue one. And then we'll go to the yellow one. And hope that I can do this because I'm a little nervous. I've never done this design before, and I want it to turn out well. I might try to end with doing a couple stitches with the double-sided needles, but we'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Just want to let you know we're from the yellow to the pink, and we're on to the smaller size. It's time to start tapering. Woo!
But first, a little bear break.
now that I've gotten 15 rows done on the pink hoop, I'm going to move down to the blue hoop. And I'm going to show you how I did that. And I'm actually going to record it. This is going to take a minute. And hopefully I'll do a better job this time around than I did the last time. Just because last time I pulled too much out of ball yarn. And I had to go back and tighten it back up. And I didn't do a super great job. So you can kind of see where it starts to taper. Hopefully we'll be able to do a better job going down to the blue hoop. I'm going to use these double-sided knitting needles and I'm going to take them off of this so that I don't lose the loop. Alright, so it looks like they go down by tens. So this one's 36 and this one is 31. So I'm going to do the same process I did with the other hoop. I'm going to go 31 divided by 5 is 6. So I'm going to go every 6 and double up the 6th one just so that we can go around and still have the size and keep the distance. Hopefully this transition will be a little smoother since I've already done it once. I kind of have an idea of how it should go. And I think I'm going to do it a better way because last time I pulled the loop off of the hoop and made it longer and then put it on this and then tightened it back up to go to the next one. And I think I'm just going to take the needle and pull it off as is, and then hopefully I won't have as much extra yarn at the end.
So I start by using the double-sided knitting needles to take the loops off of the pegs. Once I get the hat off of the pink hoop, I start putting the loops onto the blue hoop. I do doubles every 6 pegs on this one.
Alright, and there she is. Whew, that was a lot less stressful than the first time just because I kind of had an idea of what I was doing. There's the double one next to all the single ones, and then double, singles, double, singles, double, all the way back to the beginning. Double, singles. So I'm just going to do the same thing that I did down here and just go around, probably do another 15 rows and hope that that's enough. And then we'll transition over to the yellow one after that. So we're going to go blue as probably 15 rows just because it takes up less yarn to go around. So hopefully we'll get 15 rows out of this. This isn't as tightly wound as it was at the outer parts of the ball. So I don't know if this is the same length, but we're just going to continue to do that and get a pretty long hat. That was 15 rows. From here all the way up to here is 15 rows. So I feel like doing that again would be good. And then doing one more after that should make it a nice, long, floppy, pointy hat. So.
And here I am calculating out how frequently I need to double up on the yellow hoop, and I believe that it is about 4. So I do it every 4. So once I get the hat onto the smaller yellow hoop, I do 10-ish rows of the normal spacing, and then I go to skipping every other one, which I feel like might have been a mistake because it just made it way more difficult to close it up at the end. But This was an experiment, so things were bound to fail. It didn't really ruin too much of the hat because it was at the very end and I was able to finagle it so it didn't look so weird, but I don't think I will be doing that again in the future.
Alright, and she's done. Sorry if those action shots were a little weird and awkward. I don't know how to do action shots. That was the first time I've ever done them, but I did the best I could. So I wanted to go over the likes and dislikes. So likes, I really like how warm and thick it is. Doubling up the yarn will definitely do that. I think that is going to be really nice when it's snowy outside and I need to be out for a long period of time. Another thing, I think it's really silly. Like, this hat is so silly. It's so floppy and it's super darky and I love it, which makes it super unique. I didn't quite get it long enough to be an actual chaperone. I think it's French. I might do a little bit more research on it, but I think it's French, so I'm gonna say chaperone. But like, this chaperone hat is really cool. Chaperone hats are kind of a combination of both of these items that I made, so it's just like, I don't feel like I succeeded in making a chaperone hat, so maybe I just might call it a really long beanie or something. Those are the pros. I think it's really silly. I like the colors. I will wear these. We're in spring, approaching summer, so I'm not sure I'll be using them a lot for the rest of the year, but I'll have them on hand for next year. I feel like this was a good way to wrap up the winter season and start kicking off spring. I'm excited about that. Those are the pros. On to the cons. The things that I didn't really like and I might change in the future is the hat's kind of short. I know it looks long and floppy and awkward, but going off of like what an actual chaperone hat is, it's supposed to be really long, like probably supposed to be like a foot or two longer than this. So this is really short for a chaperone hat. So in order to get it as long as it needs to be, there's two things that I think I would do. One, I would not double up on the yarn, just because that's literally cutting the length in half. So it could have been double this length if I hadn't doubled it up. The reason I did double it up is because I doubled it up on the scarf and I wanted them to match. I wasn't planning on making a chaperone hat when we first started, so I don't know a whole lot about them. I just know that they existed. If I do a video on a chaperone hat in the future, like where I plan to make a just straight chaperone hat, which I'm thinking of doing because they are part of the vibe that I want to do for my store, I'll probably make true chaperone hats. I'll do some research on them, figure out what the best length is, figure out what the best material to make them out of is, and like all that stuff. But I feel like it's too short, so I'm not going to double up next time. And the other thing is the rim of the hat, like this thicker part. I feel like I did it a little too thick. Just made it a thin rim. It would have been a lot longer. When I started, I wasn't planning on doing a chaperone style hat. I got to the rim and I got 10 rows after the rim and it was getting long. And I still had a whole bunch of yarn left, so I was like, might as well. That's when I switched over to doing the long slender hat. But I think next time I would actually start tapering a lot sooner, because you don't need that much length to cover your head. You need the bigger one so it can actually fit around your head, but as soon as you start getting to the crown of your head, you can start tapering. So I think next time I'll start tapering even sooner, just so I can have that much more. If I'm trying to make it as long as possible on only one skein, that's definitely what I would do. I would start tapering a lot sooner. I would not double up the yarn, and I would make the rim way smaller. That's my biggest dislike about it, is that it's at an awkward length. It's not quite short enough to be just a beanie, and it's way too short to call it a chaperone, whatever. I would make it either longer or shorter. It's just at an awkward length as is. The next thing that I didn't really like about it is I skipped pegs when I was on the little yellow hoop, and it kicked me in the butt because I had to go back and tighten them up so I didn't have big old gaps. I'm not going to skip pegs when I'm on the smallest one. I might just end up going down to just like knitting needles. I think I'll get thicker double-sided knitting needles, and I won't skip pegs. I don't care. I'll try to find a smaller loom before I skip pegs again because that was ridiculous. And then the last thing that I need to do, I'm trying to decide if I'm actually going to do it or if I'm just going to leave it the way it is. The ends of the scarf, and then I don't know if I'm going to keep this the way it is or if I'm going to put like a little puff ball on the end of it, or if I should just figure out a way to cut it off and like finish it basically, or if I'm going to leave it like that. That's probably the last thing I would do. But yeah, I think they're goofy. It's gonna add some fun color when I need to go out and have fun. This is a really fun project. I don't know if I will record it again, just unless I decide to get into like knitting and crocheting little animals, but I don't know. This will probably be the last one for a while. We got my sewing machine up and running. That was a big reason why I had to do this. Is because my sewing machine was broken. We got it up and running. We're good. The next video will be the shawl video. So the video after that one will be a dedicated video. which I'm excited for. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. And that's it. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. And if you do want to see the footage of us going on hikes and me exploring Torrey, Utah, and kind of getting to know the area around Capitol Reef, let me know. I have plenty of footage to do a whole other video on that. Let me know if you want to see that, either down in the comments or follow me on my socials. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok under Tinctures, Odds, and Ends. If you either want to let me know about making a full-length video on that, or if you want to give your feedback on decisions that I might make in future videos, that's a good place to do that. And feel free to subscribe if you want to join me on my growth journey. That'll be it for this video, so keep smiling and stay majestic. I hate this. I need to tighten it. Try to do 4 or 5 circles, rows. You have, this is my first time doing a project on a trip, so the mistakes are bound to be made. Connected needles. Why can't I ever think of what they're called? I don't know. I said it before. My brain wants to say posts, but that's not right. Either way. You're already recording. Cool. No skipping pegs. No skipping pegs. I don't know. I guess you can let me know in the comments. Just kidding. I feel like I'm pushing you guys to comment way more than I should. So I'm gonna chill out on that a little bit. I just need interaction. So just interact with the video. It'll be good.